Welcome back to JCarMania, the home of everything fast, bold, and iconic. Today, we're diving deep into a car that blends retro charm with cutting-edge performance, the 2026 AMC Marlin. That's right, the legendary Fastback from the Golden Muscle era has made a dramatic return. But don't be fooled by the vintage-inspired lines. Under the skin, this is a modern performance machine that means business. The rebirth of the Marlin has been one of the most talked about moves in the automotive world. AMC, now operating under the Stellantis umbrella, has taken a huge gamble reviving such a niche nameplate. And boy, they didn't just bring back a name. They brought back attitude. The 2026 Marlin is here not just to coast on nostalgia but to compete head-on with the likes of the Mustang Dark Horse, the Challenger SRT Demon, and even take a swing at European Grand Tours. So, what makes this reborn Marlin special? Let's start with the heart of the beast. Under the hood, the 2026 AMC Marlin features a 6.4-liter naturally aspirated V8. Yes, you heard that right. No turbochargers, no hybrid assist, no electric nonsense. Just a good old-fashioned big block V8 pushing out a thunderous 515 horsepower and 475 pound-feet of torque. This engine is a heavily reworked version of the classic Hemi architecture, refined to deliver both power and reliability while meeting modern emission standards. The sound, absolutely intoxicating. When you fire it up, you get a deep, chest-rumbling growl that sends shivers down your spine. At idle, it's menacing. At full throttle, it screams like an old-school stock car on a hot lap. There's a real sense of drama every time you stomp the gas, and that's a big part of what makes the Marlin so engaging. Performance-wise, it's a monster. 0 to 60 comes in just 3.7 seconds. That's quicker than some high-end sports coupes. And it's not just about straight-line speed. The engineers have given the Marlin a fully independent suspension setup, magnetic ride control, and a limited slip differential that makes it genuinely capable in the corners. The handling is tight, responsive, and surprisingly nimble for a car that looks like a rolling slab of muscle. Let's talk transmission. The Marlin comes standard with a 6-speed manual, a dream for purists. It's a short-throw gearbox with a heavy, mechanical feel that rewards precise shifts. For those who want the convenience, there's also an optional 10-speed automatic with paddle shifters. And this isn't your average slushbox. It's fast, snappy, and tuned for aggressive downshifts when you hit sport mode. Braking is handled by Brembo's 6-piston calipers up front and 4-piston units in the rear, clamping onto cross-drilled carbon ceramic rotors. Stopping power is immense, fade is minimal even under hard track use, and pedal feel is firm and predictable. It's the kind of setup that gives you confidence to push the car harder and harder without worrying if it'll bite back. Now, a big part of the Marlin's appeal lies in how it feels on the road. The ride is firm, no doubt. This isn't a cushy cruiser. But it's not punishing either. In touring mode, the magnetic dampers soften up enough to handle everyday bumps and highway cruising with ease. Switch to sport or track, and the whole car tightens up. The steering becomes more direct, the throttle more sensitive, and the exhaust note turns savage. Traction and stability systems are present, but they're not overbearing. You can dial them back or turn them off completely if you're feeling brave. AMC clearly wanted drivers to feel connected, to have control, to experience that raw, analog sensation that's missing in so many modern performance cars. Let's not forget the weight. The 2026 Marlin tips the scales at just under 3,900 pounds. Impressive given its size and powertrain. That's thanks to a blend of high-strength steel, aluminum, and carbon fiber reinforcements throughout the chassis. Weight distribution is a near-perfect 51/49 front to rear, which helps the car stay balanced through high-speed corners. Tires. You get staggered Michelin Pilot Sport 5S 305s in the back, 285s up front, wrapped around forged 20-inch wheels. Grip is tremendous, both in dry and wet conditions. These tires work in harmony with the Marlin's advanced traction control system, allowing for a controlled slide when you want it and rock-solid grip when you don't. Fuel economy. Well, let's be honest. If you're buying a 6.4-liter V8 muscle machine, MPG isn't your top priority. That said, you can expect around 17 mpg city and 25 mpg highway if you drive with restraint. But we all know restraint is not the reason you buy a Marlin. Now, before we wrap up the performance section, let's talk about how the Marlin stacks up against its rivals. Compared to the Mustang Dark Horse, the Marlin feels rawer, more aggressive, less refined in a good way. Against the Dodge Challenger Demon, it's lighter, more agile, and more fun to toss around on a back road. It even gives the Camaro ZL1 a run for its money, especially with its manual option and more communicative chassis. Alright, let's step inside the cabin for a quick look at the interior. The 2026 Marlin doesn't try to be ultra-luxurious, but it doesn't feel cheap either. It's focused. The layout is driver-centric, with a low seating position, a thick-rimmed flat-bottom steering wheel, and heavily bolstered sports seats that keep you locked in place during spirited drives. Materials are a mix of leather, suede, and brushed aluminum. There's real stitching, real metal trim, and soft touch surfaces where it counts. The instrument cluster is a dual-screen setup, one for the digital gauge display, the other for infotainment. But thankfully, AMC kept physical controls for the important stuff like climate and drive modes. It's a nice balance of modern tech and tactile engagement. The infotainment system runs on Stellantis Uconnect 6 platform, responsive, easy to navigate, and supports wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. There's also a premium Harman Kardon sound system that delivers crisp, clean audio, though let's be honest, most of the time you'll be listening to the V8 soundtrack. Rear seats exist, but they're tight, best reserved for small passengers or extra storage. Trunk space is surprisingly generous for a performance coupe, and the rear seats fold down for more practicality. It's not a GT car, but it's usable enough for weekend getaways or a road trip with a light load. Safety tech is all here: adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, automatic emergency braking, blind spot monitoring, all standard. AMC hasn't cut corners here, making sure the Marlin meets modern expectations without diluting its essence. So, who is the 2026 AMC Marlin for? It's for the enthusiast who wants something different. Something with soul. A car that doesn't apologize for being loud, fast, and old school in spirit. It's for the driver who misses the days when muscle cars had attitude, but also wants the technology to back it up. This isn't just a retro revival. It's a declaration, a statement that American performance is still alive and well, and it doesn't have to follow trends. It can create them. The Marlin is a unique blend of brute strength and modern finesse. It's a driver's car through and through, one that begs to be pushed, that rewards skill, and that never lets you forget you're piloting something special. Whether you're carving up mountain roads, ripping down the drag strip, or just turning heads at the gas station, the 2026 Marlin delivers on all fronts. It's not perfect, it's loud, it's thirsty, and it's definitely not for everyone. But for those who get it, it's pure magic. Thanks for watching this in-depth review of the 2026 AMC Marlin. If you love performance, character, and cars with a story, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to JCarMania. We've got more reviews, deep dives, and car culture content coming your way. Let us know in the comments. Would you take the Marlin over a Mustang or Challenger? Or is this the muscle revival we didn't know we needed? Until next time, keep it fast, keep it loud, and stay driven.